So we reported extensively yesterday. We hope you watched the program. Key stats are these. Over the last 10 years, 7,000 Chicagoans murdered. 80% of those African American. 35% of the murders were solved. 65% of murders in Chicago have not been solved. Now that's a disaster, okay? It's a disaster. If you're the president and you're watching this, the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago cannot control violence directed at the poorest members of the state, poor people in Chicago, in the ghetto. Here's what the previous mayor of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot, said. Go.
Listen, the crime rate has gone down. You heard the numbers of decreases in homicides and shootings and other violent crimes that have gone down and have been going down for the last 4 years. We can't ignore that because the president is making up his own fact. And we also know there are red cities in red states that have higher per capita rates of gun violence and other violent crime that we're not hearing coming out of the president's mouth as the places where he really wants to go.
Now, there wasn't one bit of truth in everything she said. The soundbite was 30 seconds. She didn't say one thing that was true. Okay? So the crime rate may be going down, but it doesn't have anything to do with the murder rate and the violence rate. Okay? And crime rates go up and down. When Lightfoot took over in 2019, the first year she was there were 492 murders. The next year, there was 772 murders. It went from 492 to 772 in 1 year under Lightfoot. And this red state stuff, this is about going to Mississippi in a rural county and finding that, proportionally more people were shot than in a liberal city. That's insane. That's crazy. That way you could say that BillO'Reilly.com is more profitable than IBM. Because our profit margin is so much less than theirs. And, come on. It's just total propaganda. But the fact remains that there isn't any politician, liberal politician in Illinois, nobody, who wants to protect the poor African-American population in Chicago. Not one. Here's what I said on News Nation last night on the Cuomo program. Go. These people, Pritzker and Brandon Johnson, the mayor, cannot admit it. Mm-hmm. They can't admit it, that it's their fault. Nothing is done to stop the murder in the poor neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. They won't admit it. They can't admit it. So Pritzker actually said to the press, the motivation for Donald Trump to bring in more protection in the form of the Guard and federal agents is that Trump wants to establish a Nazi hierarchy in this country. Pritzker said that. Now, if you don't think that's a lie, then you don't know what the Eighth Commandment means, okay? That is so insane. It's like nothing I've ever heard. Okay, so the irony here is that for Donald Trump, Black Lives Matter. He's trying to save Black lives. That's who's being murdered. Whereas the liberal politicians don't want to save them because they have no solution to the problem. It goes on and on and on and on. It doesn't matter whether the crime rate goes down 3% or 9% or up there. It's death in the street. Not only is it murder, but those poor people in the South Side can't walk to the grocery store. They can't call the cops on anybody because the drug gangs will kill them and their families if they do that. Can't testify in court. You think they're free? You think these poor people are free? They're not. This is outrageous what's happening. And it's public safety. So Trump as president is in charge of keeping Americans, all Americans, safe. You would think the black community would rise up and say, yeah, we finally have somebody who's trying to help us. No. Let's face it, the U.S. economy is under stress. National debt rising, trade war shaking the markets. And meanwhile, China is dumping the dollar and stockpiling gold. That's why I protected my savings with physical gold and silver through the only dealer I trust, American Hartford Gold. And you can do this. Get precious metals delivered to your door or place in a tax-advantaged gold IRA. They'll even help you roll over your existing IRA or 401k, tax and penalty free. With billions in precious metals delivered, thousands of 5-star reviews, and an A+ from the Better Business Bureau, you can trust American Hartford Gold as I do. Please call 866-501-5201 or text BILL to 65532. Again, that's 866-501-5201 or text BILL to 65532. Thank you for watching. To view full episodes of the No Spin News anytime, sign up to become a BillO'Reilly.com premium or concierge member today.